buhay sa kahanginan.
Good day to you, my dear students. How are you today? I am teacher Anne Maria, and today I'm going to guide you in answering the activities found in your TLE 7 Quarter 3 Week 4 Learners Activity Sheets. But before we start, let's prepare your activity sheets, pen, and answer sheets. Are you ready, class? Then let's begin. Today, we will learn together about measurements and calculation. This topic on measurements and calculation presents varied activities that help you understand the selection of appropriate measuring instruments and carry out measurements and calculations used for a task and provide the knowledge and skills necessary to determine the exact measurement of the objects needed in carpentry. After going through this learner's activity sheet, you are expected to identify the different linear measuring instruments, measure given materials, and calculate the number of materials per specific task, and appreciate the importance of measurements in calculation. Selecting the appropriate measuring instruments in carpentry is the basic knowledge that every carpentry student should learn. Measure twice, cut once to avoid unnecessary cutting of lumber. Being familiar with the different measuring instruments will help you mark out and measure components accurately to fit them together when assembled. Knowing the function of each measuring instrument will help you understand the concept on how carpenters use these instruments on a specific task. This will help minimize error on measurement. Definition of terms. Measurement is a process of finding a number that shows the amount or something. Calculation is the act of calculating, which is using math or logic to figure out a problem. Centimeters is a unit of length in the metric system equal to 10 millimeters or 100 of a meter. Meter, the basic unit of length or distance in the metric system. Millimeters, a unit of length equal to 1,000 of a meter and equivalent to 0.03937 inch. Board foot or feet, a unit of measure equal to the cubic contents of a piece of lumber, 1 foot square and 1 inch thick, used in measuring logs and lumber. Abbreviation BDFT. Measuring instrument means any device, contrivance, apparatus, or instrument used or designed to be used for ascertaining measure and includes any tool, appliance, or accessory used or connected therewith. A carpenter must know how to select appropriate measuring tools for the job to accurately measure materials and angles and layout structures. U.S. customary measuring tools used in carpentry are divided into inches and halves, quarters, eighths, and sixteenths of an inch. However, on metric tools, the divisions generally are centimeters and millimeters. Number one kind of measuring instruments we have is push-pull rule. It is used to measure long distances available from 3.00 meters to 7.5 meters long. Number 2 is zigzag rule. It's available from 4 feet or 1.20 meters to 6 feet or 1.80 meters, commonly used by carpenters for rough layout. Number 3 meter stick is a large roller used for measuring size or distance using the metric scale. It can be used to measure the depth of soil, the height of a flower, or the width of a table. Number 4 measuring tape is used to measure longer distances available from 25 meters to 100 meters long. Number 5, a tri-square or T-square is a woodworking tool used for marking and checking 90-degree angles on pieces of wood. A carpenter should know how to measure materials accurately. Measuring the materials need a skill in roll reading and conversion from English to metric system of measurement and vice versa. Equipping yourself with this knowledge and skills will help you visualize the shape of structural parts of a building to determine the materials needed. Roll reading is a basic skill in carpentry. Every carpenter should know how to read a rule. A rule is composed of two systems of measurements, the English system and the metric system. English system uses inch, foot, and yard. There are 16 graduations per inch. The different graduation lines of an inch are 1/16, 2/16 or 1/8, 3/16, 4/16 or 1/4, 5/16, 6/16 or 3/8, 7/16, 8/16 or 1/2, 9/16, 10/16 or 5/8, 11/16, 12/16 or 3/4, 13/16, 14/16 or 7/8, 15/16, 16/16 or 1 inch. Metric system uses millimeter or mm, centimeter or cm, meter or m, and kilometer or km. 1 millimeter is equal to 0.1 centimeter and 0.001 meter, while 10 millimeter is equals to 1 centimeter and 0.01 meter. Structural plan is scaled in metric system. Every carpenter should know how to convert from English system to metric system of measurement and vice versa. Number 1. 1 centimeter is equivalent to 10 millimeters. Number 2. 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeter and also equivalent to 1000 millimeters. Number 3. 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1000 meters and also equivalent to 100,000 millimeters. Number 4. 1 meter is equivalent to 3.281 feet. Number 5. 1 inch is equivalent to 2.54 centimeters. Number 6. 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. Lumber is sold by board foot. A board foot is 1 inch thick times 12 inches wide times 12 inches long, which equals to 144 inches. A piece of lumber more or less 1 inch thick is considered 1 inch in thickness, where T stands for thickness, W for width, and L is for length. The following formulas are used in computing board foot. Formula number 1, we have board foot is equals to thickness times width times length divided by 12 times 12. This formula only applied when the length of lumber is in inches. In formula number 2, we have board foot is equals to thickness times width times length divided by 12. This formula is also only applied when the length of lumber is in feet. Sample problem number 1 for formula number 1. We have a size of lumber which is 2 inches thickness times 6 inches width times 48 inches length. We can see the sign of its length which is in inches, so we are going to use formula number 1 which is board feet is equals to thickness times width times length divided by 12 times 12. Our solution for problem number 1, we have board feet is equals to 2 inches thick times 6 inches width times 48 inches length divided by 12 times 12. So 2 times 6 equals 12. Then copy the length which is 48 inches. Then 12 times 12 equals 144. Now 12 times 48 is equals to 576. Then copy the number which is 144 as its divisor. So for the final part, let us divide 576 to 144 for a total of 4 board feet. So the correct answer is 4 board feet. To determine the total cost amount of lumber for problem number 1, if its quantity is 1 piece, with a size of 2 inches thickness times 6 inches width times 48 inches length with total board feet of 4 and a price of 30 pesos per board feet. So we simply multiply 30 pesos for price per board feet to 4 board feet per piece times 1 for its quantity, which equals to 120 pesos. So the total cost amount for problem number 1 is 120 pesos. Now let's continue to sample problem number 2. If we have a size of lumber of 2 inches thick times 6 inches width times 10 feet length. As we can see, its length is in feet, so we're going to use formula number 2, which is board feet equals thickness times width times length divided by 12. The solution in solving that formula number 2, we have board feet is equals to 2 inches thick times 6 inches width times 10 feet length divided by 12. Now 2 times 6 equals 12. Then copy the length, which is 10 feet. Divide by 12 as its divisor. Then 12 times 10 is equals to 120. Copy 12 again as its divisor. Now 120 divided by 12 is equals to 10 board feet. So the correct answer is 10 board feet. Now, to determine again the total cost amount of lumber for problem number 2, when its quantity is 1 with a size of 2 inches thick times 6 inches width times 10 feet length with a total board feet of 10 per pieces and a price of 35 pesos per board feet. We again simply multiply 35 pesos for price per board feet to 10 board feet per piece times 1 for its total quantity, which equals to 350 pesos. So, the total cost amount for problem number 2 is 350 pesos. To determine the total cost amount for problem number 1 and problem number 2, we need to add the total cost amount of lumber for problem number 1, which is 120 pesos, to the total cost amount of lumber for problem number 2, which is 350 pesos, for a total cost of 470 pesos. Now turn your activity sheet to page 8. Go to activity 1, Know Me Better. What you are going to do in this activity is to identify what linear measuring instrument is being described in each of the specific tasks. Then choose your answer from the box. Number 1. Blank is used in measuring the length of a lumber. Choose either tri-square, meter stick, zigzag rule, measuring tape, or push-pull rule. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up, and the correct answer is push-pull rule. Number 2. Blank is used in measuring the deepness of hole. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up, and the correct answer is measuring tape. Number 3. Blank is used in marking and checking the 90-degree angles on pieces of wood. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is tri-square. Number 4. Blank is used in measuring the distance of a window jamb. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up, and the correct answer is zigzag rule. Number 5. Blank is used in measuring the width of a lumber. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up, and the correct answer is meter stick. This time, we are to answer activity 2, measure and calculate. What you are going to do is to compute the board foot and the total cost of the lumber. Here is our problem for item number 1. Get the board feet per piece if the size of lumber is 1 inch thick times 2 inch width times 36 inch length. And for item number 2, calculate the total cost amount of lumber after you get the total computation of board feet per piece. You will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to do the item number 1 and 2. And your time starts now. Time's up! Now let us check your answer. For the size of lumber, we have 1 inch thick times 2 inches width times 36 inches length. The formula we are going to use is formula number 1 since the length is in inches. So we have thickness times width times length divided by 12 times 12. Our solution is 1 times 2 times 36 divided by 12 times 12. So 1 times 2 equals 2 times 36 equals 576. Then 12 times 12 equals 144. Now let us divide to 144 for a total of 0.5 board feet. So the correct answer is 0.5 board feet. Now the board feet per piece of 1 inch by 2 inches by 36 inches size of lumber is 0.5 board feet. Now to get the total cost amount of lumber for item number 2, if the price is 30 pesos per board feet, we must multiply 30 pesos to the board feet per piece, which is 0.5 times 5 pesos for its quantity for a total of 75 pesos. So the total cost of lumber for item number 1 and 2 is 75 pesos. For item number 3, same as what we did for item number 1, we need to calculate the board feet per piece with the measurement or size of lumber of 2 inches thick times 2 inches width times 10 feet length. And for item number 4, the same procedure for item number 2 to calculate the total cost amount of lumber after you get the total computation of board feet per piece. Now you will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to do this item. And your time starts now. Time's up. Now let us check your answer. For the size of lumber, we have 2 inches thick times 2 inches width times 10 feet length. The formula we are going to use is formula number 2 for the length is in feet. So we have thickness times width times length divided by 12. Our solution is 2 times 2 times 10 divided by 12. Now, 2 times 2 equals 4 times 10 equals 40. Then copy the number 12 below as its divisor. So for the final part, let us divide 40 to 12 with a total of 3.33 board feet. So the correct answer is 3.33 board feet. Now the board feet per piece of 2 inches by 2 inches by 10 feet size of lumber is 3.33 board feet. To get the total cost amount of lumber for item number 4, if the price is 35 pesos per board feet, we must multiply 35 pesos to the board feet per piece, which is 3.33 times 15 pieces for its quantity, for a total of 1,748 pesos and 25 cents. So the total cost of lumber for item number 3 and 4 is 1,748 pesos and 25 cents. Now for item number 5, compute the total amount of cost of lumber. So you will have 1 minute to do this item, and your time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is 1,823 and 25 cents. Now, turn your activity sheets to page 9 and go to activity 3. Your task is to draw a happy face if the statement below shows appreciation on the importance of measurement and calculation, and a sad face if it does not. Number 1. Blank as a carpenter, conversion of measurement from English to metric system shall be considered. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up, and the correct answer is a happy face. Number 2. Blank measuring the materials needs a skill in roll reading. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up, and the correct answer is a happy face. Number 3. Blank every carpenter should know how to convert from English system to metric system of measurement and vice versa. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up, and the correct answer is a happy face. Number 4. Blank misinterpreting the function of each measuring instrument will help you understand the concept on how carpenters use these instruments on a specific task. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up, and the correct answer is a sad face. Number 5. Blank, a carpenter must know how to select appropriate measuring tools for the job to accurately measure materials in angles and lay out structures. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up, and the correct answer is a happy face. Now let's summarize the things that you have learned from today's lesson by completing the open-ended statement. Are you done, learners? Great job! And that ends our lesson on measurements and calculation. I hope you've learned a lot from today's lesson. Make sure to answer the remaining activities found on these activity sheets. Thank you for watching. Bye!